morning to you. Hope you're doing well on this Thursday morning. Can I ask you a question? It may sound a little out of character, or maybe just a little odd, but how would you fight a giant? In modern warfare, I would choose to fight him with the weapon that kept me as far from him as possible. In the day that David fought Goliath, warfare was mostly accomplished with close quarter skirmishes and hand-to-hand combat. The prevailing mindset of that day seemed to be your best chance of survival was to cover head to toe in strong armor that could deflect the blows that comes from the adversary. However, we read the account of David's battle with Goliath in 1 Samuel 17, and we find that David rejected the weaponry that would have been the obvious choice and chose to fight instead armed with nothing more than a sling and some stones. It would appear that David's selection of weaponry was a terrible choice, as Goliath was covered from head to toe in armor, and the hurled stone would be rendered ineffective. But we know in the end the sling stone did indeed bring down the giant, and David was victorious. When presented with the choice to cover himself in armor and fight Goliath in the contemporary method of warfare, or choose the slingshot approach, David's reasoning was that he had proven the sling, but was inexperienced with the armor. And further information would lead us to understand that prior to his battle with Goliath, he had spent his days in the meadows of Bethlehem shepherding sheep. And undoubtedly, while all alone in the pasture watching sheep, David had spent hour after hour practicing and whirling the sling above his head and letting the stone fly toward distant targets. Understand that he didn't just wake up the morning of his epic battle with the giant and decide, I think I'll find the biggest guy I can and I'll just take my life in my hands with only a sling, because I think that will make for a very motivational story in years to come, and people will read of my conquest. That's not what happened. David chose his challenge based upon what he knew and really already enjoyed doing. Now, understand that sometimes in life we have to do things we don't enjoy. I, for instance, don't enjoy taking out the trash, but I still do it. Although most times I make my almost 16-year-old daughter do it. I don't enjoy paying taxes, but I also don't want to go to jail. So please don't mistake this as being the golden rule of choosing what challenges you will accept and avoiding those things that you don't like. This is not that. However, when we are being led toward great life-defining challenges, this is a principle that should be considered. For instance, if someone tells you that I enrolled in a skydiving class or signed up for a bungee jumping excursion, I assure you they are lying to you. I do not enjoy either of those activities. But if someone told you that they spotted me at Duck Donuts, those of you that are local to the East Coast knows what I'm talking about, and they saw me throwing down on a cinnamon sugar cake donut or a maple glazed with peanuts on top donut, or they spied me at Emily's Bakery in Williamsburg, Virginia, crushing the best apple or blueberry fritters that you ever have encountered in your life, there is probably more fact than fiction provided in that story. As you prepare to weigh out the challenges that you will accept even this month, this week, today, simply consider, is this something that I enjoy? The reality is that my success or my failure is likely to be enhanced or hindered depending on how I can answer that question. Because the truth is, if I don't enjoy it, how likely am I to remain committed? If I don't enjoy it, how likely am I to make the sacrifices necessary to succeed? So what do you enjoy doing? What challenges lie before you that you actually enjoy undertaking? Yes, you're still going to have to take out the trash and pay the taxes, but it may just be that after some evaluation, there's a giant that's about to meet his worst nightmare in you. Operate in your strengths. Get familiar with what you love, and then go do something epic to change the world. God bless you. I'll talk to you soon.